Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Reverse Dealer TV, episode 3.
Number 3.
Numero, I don't know Spanish that high.
Tres?
Tres?
Tres, yeah. I almost said twab.
This is how good we are. So Reverse Dealer is TV, and Reverse Dealer is the new way of buying and selling vehicles. Come check them out. They're just north of Red Deer. Mm-hmm. What's the exact address?
Number 1639015, Highway 2A. So on the east side of Highway 2A, heading towards Black Falls from Red Deer.
Beautiful, Chris. So, Chris, let's kind of jump into the show a bit more here.
Let's do it.
I want to know, you said last week that Reverse Dealer kind of got started in a really unique way. You were behind a car wash. You were paying for people's car washes or something?
Yeah, that's actually how it all started. I did have a fairly good position at a dealer group. I was a director of pre-owned operations, and I literally quit that job. It was over 6 figures, not to brag or anything, but just to give you contrast.
You weren't hurting, basically.
Yeah, and
you didn't need to go find more work.
It was the best job, 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, weekends off, and I literally quit it to go sit behind a car wash in Red Deer. And shout out to Shane Mooney. Thank you very much for letting me sit up there. I had a pop-up tent and started in just the very beginning of a harsh Alberta winter. And I sat with a pop-up tent and literally paid for people's car washes as they'd come in. And I'd give them business cards and just to tell them what I wanted to do. So that's actually how the whole thing started. I just sat at the car wash. People would come in, I'd actually give them a card, and I'd be so bored there, I'd actually say, I'll even do the wash for you. So I'd pay for the wash, go in, wash the car myself in the
So
middle
it was one
of
of those wand car washes, eh?
It was, a coin car wash where you drive in, and then you're supposed to do it yourself, but I paid for it, and I would do it for people.
That's awesome.
And just tell people what I wanted to do. And then I got one vehicle. One guy came up from Three Hills, and he gave me his vehicle. He's like, but I need to store it. Can I store it somewhere? So he let me store, or he wanted me to store it at my house. So I was like, okay. And then I stored that one at my house, and I had 2 people wanted to store it, and then that was my legal limit at the house. So I had to start looking for lot space, and now we're just coming up on 2 years, and we've expanded all the way from sitting behind the car wash in the freezing winter with just me and handing out business cards to now we have over 1.5. We're just about 1.7 million in inventory on our lot right now, and we've sold well over $5 million worth of local people's vehicles.
1.7 what?
Million dollars.
Really? How many vehicles is that?
We're almost at 500 vehicles in.
Wow.
And that was just with me starting. I would do everything. I would pay for the car wash, and if they listed with us, I'd drive that car to the buyer's house,
right,
and then take the vehicle for an inspection. If it didn't sell, I'd have to bring it back to the seller, tell them the bad news. But if it did sell, then I would do the transaction. They were very, very happy.
That's
and you can
awesome.
actually go to reversedealer.com, and if you check if you go to, I think it's Sell My Vehicle, there's some reviews on there, and you can see some of the very first people, and they will attest to that is actually what happened. So
I guess my question for you though is, where'd you get the idea of popping in behind the car wash?
That's a good question. All I was thinking is I wanted to get to people, and I didn't who have cars, but at the car wash, I needed to get pictures of cars that are clean. So I figured, why not go to a car wash and then just
hopefully they're clean when they leave.
Yeah, exactly. And then that's where people sometimes go. Like if you're going to sell your car privately, you'll probably go to a car wash, clean it, and then take your pictures out in the parking lot.
That's quite brilliant.
So that was
Did
my
you
idea.
actually come up with that yourself?
That was all me.
No,
it was just me.
Who did you get it from? Who gave you the idea?
I've never seen it done. I don't think anyone's that stupid to go out. No one's that dumb to sit out in the freezing winter and do that.
Yeah, you said it was in the wintertime, wasn't it?
Just the beginning of winter. So I sat in, there's pictures online of me sitting out there with my pop-up tent. Sometimes I'd be out there trying to do the consignment contract. My pen would freeze and it wouldn't even write. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, so that's how Reverse Dealer started.
So Chris, I guess what really drove you to throw it all, I guess maybe put it a bit nicer, but throw it all away, man. You said you had a comfy job.
Yeah.
You were comfortable doing what you're doing, and then you quit.
Yeah.
To do something that you didn't. It doesn't sound like you had the whole story ahead of time, eh?
I didn't know what I was going to do. My whole goal was just to. I knew what I wanted, and the goal was to get money back into sellers' hands. The people that when I was in the automotive industry through a traditional dealer, the money I would give them as a trade appraisal, I just didn't like that number. They didn't like it. I didn't like giving it. Salespeople can attest to this if you're watching. It's the hardest part in the world is giving someone a trade-in number. But with reverse dealer, it's the exact opposite, where every time we give them a number, they're like, oh, that sounds fair. That's what I was thinking. And you never hear that in the auto industry. You never hear that's what I was thinking on a trade-in number.
For someone who might not know, you were the used car manager.
Yeah, I was a director of four stores, managing managers at 4 stores.
Right. So you were the used guy. So you knew all about giving a crappy number.
Oh yeah.
So that you could maximize the company's profit.
And that's the thing. And through that position, I knew that's what was out there. That's the industry. But I still would give stronger numbers than most dealers just because that was in my head to try to give people a fair number but still get the deal. Mm-hmm. And then there's certain things that would happen where I try to come up with ideas and do them within the dealership atmosphere, and it just wouldn't work
because they're so traditional and set in their ways.
Well, no, it's not that they're so set in their ways. It's the business model of buy low, sell high. That's what you can't get around it. You have your overhead, you have managers, you have a huge fancy showroom. There's so many things that have to get paid for. And at a regular dealership, you have to give those trade-in numbers just to make your margins to stay
keep the lights on.
Yeah, you have to.
So
cool. It's not the people that are bad there at all. I've met so many good people. It's just the business model.
It's just the way that it has to be that way. So you guys are doing something completely different from the start.
Yeah, exactly. Hence the name reverse dealer, the total opposite of every other dealer. Our incentive is to have the seller and the buyer agree on the price. When that happens, then that's a win. That's what these little bracelets. They're win-win-win. So
they're in the camera. Win-win-win.
Yeah, win-win-win. But that's the whole concept. So the buyer wins, the seller wins, and the dealership wins. We just don't win as big as a regular dealership. So
fair enough. Guys, if you're on Facebook Live, please just pop in a question over in the comment section. We've already got one in there from Mr. Bobby. Do you want to answer that question right now before we take a break?
If I was
Bobby's looking
for a long
for
intro. Let's
take a break and then we'll come back. Okay. So while we take our quick break here, pop something into that comment section.
We'll get back to
you. Buddy. And we also have Periscope going live. Leave us a comment in Periscope if you have any questions, and we'll get back to you there too.
And say where you're from.
Please say where you're from, because we can track you down on Facebook and find out where you're from. We just can't on Periscope. We'll be back after this, guys.
Same Old Sam has a great business model, if you're Same Old Sam, that is. See, Sam swindles sellers when he buys their car at a low price. Same goes for clients who trade in their car. He then swiftly sells said car at a much higher price to a buyer, costing the buyer and the seller thousands of dollars in the process. It's lose, win, lose. Maybe it's time we shift gears when it comes to buying and selling cars. Time to put things in reverse. Reverse dealer, that is. Reverse dealer is an online auto dealership that gives buyers and sellers all the benefits of a traditional dealer without any of the downfalls. Here's how it works. Sellers bring in their car to get it cleaned and vacuumed. We take professional pictures, evaluate the car on the spot, compare pricing to similar vehicles, and write up a professional ad to be posted on our website, all for free. We also provide non-commissioned professionals to show and sell your car. And if you're not ready to sell your car yet, don't worry, you can still come in to see us. We store your car's info until you're ready to put it on the market. Instead of surfing tons of different websites, buyers can find everything they need at Reverse Dealer, including complete vehicle history, over 20 plus photos of the car, fair market prices, and we offer financing and extended warranty options. Reverse Dealer will even bring the car to the buyer for a test drive. Reverse Dealer doesn't make money by buying low and selling high like Same Old Sam. We simply charge a small one-time fee on each transaction, ensuring that buyers and sellers get a great deal. Unlike the lose-win-lose ways of Same Old Sam, Reverse Dealer offers a win-win-win. And we just think it's better when everyone walks away happy. So let's stop giving away thousands of dollars to Same Old Sam. Let's change the way we buy and sell cars. Let's throw it into reverse. Reverse Dealer. To learn more, visit reversedealer.com.
And we're back.
Hello.
We're back. So let's jump into questions right away here. So again, if you're on Facebook Live, please pop them into the comments. If you're on Periscope, please let us know where you're from, where you're calling from. Yeah.
Watching from,
whatever.
Yeah.
And we'll get in on this. Get nice close to that mic, Chris, because here comes your first question. If I was looking for a certain type of vehicle, are you guys able to do the search for me and track one down? That's from Bobby over on Facebook.
Searching for vehicles, absolutely. If you watch the intro of the show, my position, like I just talked about, was Director of Pre-Owned Operations for those 4 dealer groups. But on top of that, I was also the sorcerer, that sounds funny, but I'm not.
You weren't the sorcerer.
Yeah, I was a sorcerer.
Sorcerer.
So I found vehicles. I was in charge of filling those 4 lots with used car vehicles. And I had a special program that I've never really seen any other dealer do, where it's called Find a Vehicle. If we don't have what you want, we will literally, we fill out a form exactly what you want, meeting your criteria.
Right.
And I used to have 4 computer screens, actually.
Was it 4?
It was 4.
Or was it 6?
No, it was 4.
It was just 4?
It was 4 screens, and I'd have auctions on the top 2, and then I'd be hunting vehicles out on Kijiji on the other, and literally
So when it sounds like whack-a-mole, it kind of was.
Yeah,
you were looking everywhere trying to find out what the next thing was.
Well, it's just hunting down vehicles, and there's so many places you can find vehicles, and that I was the specialist there. That was my position, to hunt down the vehicles for those stores and for the clients that we didn't have the vehicles.
Right.
So absolutely, Bobby, we can find whatever you want. Doesn't matter if it's a $2,000 Honda Civic, or you want like $100,000 sports car or $300,000 sports car. I've bought and sold those.
So if someone besides Bobby, or Bobby included, wanted to do that right now, what should they do?
Yeah, just you can email me direct at chris@reversedealer.com.
Or check out reversedealer.com.
Yeah,
just reversedealer.com.
Yeah, reversedealer.com. And my email will be in there. Just email me direct, call our number, and just ask for me, and I will help you out in that.
Now, we have one more question in Facebook right now. Before we jump into it, I want to make sure that you guys know on Facebook Live, please, it would be a huge help if you share this show and go over to the Reverse Dealer page, click like, and make sure you click under the like button that you want to see these posts first. And I think there's even an option there to be alerted when the show goes live. We go live every Thursday, 6 p.m. Yep. And help get the show known. And the more questions we can get into the chat, the more we can build the show. And I mean, this guy's a wealth of knowledge. We want.
Thanks.
But I think the problem is personally, for me, when I talk about things that I'm passionate about, I don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what interests you. So when those questions come in, Chris is able to identify the things that need to be spoken about.
For sure. So put your questions in there. Literally, it could be any question you have about a dealership experience. Even if you just want to bring up something that happened, and it'll spark something in my memory that I'll be able to bring up and try to make it clear for you what actually happened. So you can ask questions throughout the whole show, and we will get to them. Most of the questions will be answered at the end.
Yep.
So feel free, just type in your questions, and then we'll get to answering them.
Speaking of at the very end, we forgot to mention this at the top of the show. Now that we've got a few people watching, you've got a special offer at the end of the show today.
Oh, yes, I do. So what we're doing tonight, if you submit this submission, if you go to reversedealer.com and submit it before 9 p.m., we're giving away a free live market analysis. So if you just want to know roughly what your vehicle's worth, you go to reversedealer.com and click Sell My Car. There's a form. You just fill it out. Goes directly to us. And then we will let you know what a fair price is if you're going to trade in your vehicle to a regular dealership. We will let you know what a fair price is if you're going to sell it privately. And then we also let you know what a fair wholesale price if you're just to sell it directly cash to a wholesaler. So we give you those three numbers, which are very important if you're going to be trading in your vehicle or selling it. So we do that, and there's no strings attached. We're not going to say, oh, now just come to our dealership and trade in. We're not going to.
Could someone even take those numbers that you've offered and kind of take them to another dealership and see how accurate they were?
Yeah, you could actually do that. It'd be a good comparison.
Yeah.
Because I used to, like I said, I was in charge of 4 different stores, and I know how different people work for giving out those used cars trade-in numbers. So yeah, if I will give you a number, and then you go to a dealer, and I can almost guarantee it'll be extremely close to what they will actually give you as a real cash value.
Or you'll find out that the value that you're going to offer them is going to be a lot higher than what that dealership's going to offer you.
It's on average, it's about $3,000 to $4,000 versus their trade-in number, what we get in our client's pocket. So
let's pop into the Facebook Live. We got one more question. Actually, we'll jump for that one in a minute here.
Yeah.
Is there any from Periscope there, Hema?
I want to know how much their vehicles are worth. Like, it's kind of crazy.
How much their
vehicles are worth individually.
just go to the site. Go to reversedealer.com. Click sell my car. Sorry, we're getting a lot of questions from Periscope about what's my vehicle worth. So go to sell my vehicle on reversedealer.com and then fill in the form and I'll get you that number. And just put where you're from too, because the market changes from state to state, province to province, and we have the means to check within each state, province, city. So
sounds good. So over on Facebook Live here, we've got. Oh, did we have another question?
We'll do those later.
Okay. What is your opinion on dealer add-ons? What does that even mean?
Dealer add-ons. I'm guessing.
Is that like the
Thank
the
you,
undercoat?
Stephanie, for the question. I'm assuming you mean dealer add-ons, meaning the stuff you can get at the end, like extended warranty. Life insurance, undercoating. There's etching, where they etch your vehicle.
With what?
With just stickers, basically. So if your car gets stolen, they
Oh,
say
that's
they can
that serial
track
number
it.
bits.
Yeah, the serial number.
So that
thing.
happens if like the car gets taken apart. These little codes are on it
They
still.
will-
that
yeah.
you can identify.
Yeah.
Okay. So are these worth it?
Then there's the nitro and the tires. There's so many different little
Oh,
add-ons. So the question was, what is my opinion on them?
Yeah.
I think they're there for a reason. They definitely do bring value. The one thing you really want to watch out for is make sure you're not being gouged or they're being marked up more than what they're actually worth. The good thing with the internet is you can go online and just type what's the average price I should be paying for this, and then the internet will tell you what a fair price is. Usually they'll have a printout right from that company and it'll get you the information you need.
So not all the things are ripoffs. Like,
Well,
like the
none of them are
undercoat is something to
rip-offs.
actually get.
Obviously, yeah, undercoating, it protects underneath your vehicle. It's worth, but it's worth something, but it just depends how much you're going to pay for it and how much is all that stuff. Extended warranty, that stuff's very valuable if you pay.
Right.
So yeah, I could go all day about that stuff, but I do think they're very, very valuable. It just depends. Just be careful what you're signing and know what you're getting, because a lot of people, you'll buy a vehicle, you'll be so excited, and then you'll go in and they'll be like, sign here, sign here. You think you're just buying the vehicle, but you just signed legal contracts that bind you to extended warranty, life insurance. Your payment goes up an extra $150 and you don't even know what you just signed. Even though that can happen and you still end up using that extended warranty in the future and be happy you actually got it.
But you just the sticker shock, and you've already bound yourself to that kind of thing.
Yeah,
right?
you got to be very careful. Yeah.
Okay, very cool. So most of the time you're saying these add-ons are probably worth it.
Yeah.
Just do your research.
Yeah, just make sure you're not overpaying, basically.
Fair enough. So, Chris, would you say if someone has any specific questions about a deal they're looking at having and the add-ons they're looking to get, should they hit you up over on the Twitter or the Facebook and ask
We're
you the questions
everywhere.
there?
So I'm actually on Facebook. You go to Facebook to our chat that goes directly to, there's 3 of us that can answer that stuff right away. There's Twitter. We'll answer that right away. And to get to me personally, directly and instantly is Snapchat.
Yeah.
We're quite
Snap
big on
your questions.
Yeah. You can snap your questions to me and I'll snap right back. And that username is Reverse Dealer.
Fantastic.
No spaces.
So now that we're kind of in the middle of the show here, Chris, let's talk a little bit about what Reverse Dealer really is when it compares to other dealerships. Because I know your tagline is what? Dealers hate us. Hated by dealers, loved by...
Hated by the dealers, loved by the public. And in fact, dealers still like us because we still work together with dealers and they will actually give us clients. If they can't get a big enough trade-in, they will actually use us. And vice versa. If we don't have a brand new vehicle because we only sell used, we can refer them back to dealers.
There you go.
But the tagline is hated by dealers, loved by the public. And yeah, that's what our tagline is.
So let's see here. The Reverse Dealer is a little bit of, you guys are kind of the small guy, hey?
Yeah, we're tiny compared to every other deal. Like just in Red Deer, population 100,000 people. There's probably 20 plus dealers in this town.
Wow.
And we're just like tiny. We're absolutely just a small little, and we don't even make as much money on a deal as a regular dealer does, like nowhere near on average.
Right.
So we have a big mountain to climb right now. Our whole goal is just to change the perception of how people think about used cars in the automotive industry. So we're really doing what we can from the very grassroots level, just like when I started out with a pop-up tent. It's very grassroots approach, and all the vehicles are local community people's vehicles. So all we're trying to do is give the money back. We're competing against multi-million-dollar businesses within our city, but then they're backed by multi-billion-dollar corporations. So we're literally just like a little pea compared to what we're up against right now.
Would you say it's almost like David and Goliath? If you were to pit the dealerships against each other, you're kind of like the little small fry.
We're the tiny little one that's totally opposite of everyone else, and then they're the big. I would say they're the big. I don't want to say monster.
But Chris, what would you say as a reverse dealer? You've been doing this for a year and a half.
Yeah.
What's your biggest challenge, would you say then? Being the small guy.
Being the small guy right now is when you start a business, whether it's a dealership or anything, banks will not loan you money. So you have to do everything yourself. It's a lot of hard work from the very, very bottom. Even to get, if you are starting your own dealership, getting banks to lend money to your clients, that is so much harder than you think.
So it's hard enough to get a bank to lend money to you as a business owner.
Yeah.
Now you're trying to get those banks to lend money to these people.
To our clients, yeah.
That come in.
And they could be highly qualified people, but the banks won't even allow us the opportunity. And I've asked the banks, I've worked with all of them to try to get, the big problem is getting a prime lender.
Okay. So what is a prime lender?
A prime lender is, say like TD, Scotia, all the banks.
So your brand name,
the big brand ones that can get you a lower finance rate. So prime means people with really good credit, people that have looked after their credit scores, and banks are really willing to lend money to. So that's what the prime banks are. Those are a lot harder to get as a dealership versus subprime banks. And subprime banks are the people, they will finance the people who don't have the best credit, who may have screwed up their credit in the past. And that's
or something's happened and their credit score is taking a hit.
A lot of times they didn't even do anything, and they just have an old charge from, like, it could be a $2 charge, but
maybe it was someone's trying to build up their credit after identity theft or something.
There's all sorts of different things. So I don't want to say that it's all everyone's fault.
But sometimes your credit isn't good. So there's no other way of saying
exactly. So that's where subprime banks will come in, and they will entertain financing to our clients, but not all of them. And it wasn't.
So you need that's where it comes on, based on approval.
Yeah, and it wasn't even that easy just to get those banks to even look at us. So the biggest challenge, I would say, has been getting the banks, and like the day-to-day stuff, not making as much money as a regular dealer, that has been very hard.
So you basically, not only do the regular dealers have to push sales and work hard, you guys are working even harder. And you're not even taking home the money because you're taking that flat fee
and
every single time.
Give it back to the buyer and seller.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, you're just taking your little cut because, you're a business. You need to operate. But then you're giving it right back to the buyer.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the seller, because the buyer's agreed to a decent rate.
Yeah.
The seller's even the buyer's getting a pretty good price compared to going to a dealership and buying a car.
So, and that's the thing. We give it back to the buyer and the seller. So
that means you have to sell that many more cars to be profitable.
And we have twice as many people to make happy. When you go and that's what it's all about, the win-win-win. We built it into the DNA of the dealership. And if you go look at our reviews, like on our Facebook page, those are not homemade reviews. Those are people literally like ecstatic, and we don't ask them to write it. They just literally go there and I can't believe it's real. Like, it actually works. Like, the reviews are just amazing. So thank you guys for supporting Reverse Dealer in our mission to change the auto industry.
And speaking of supporting, if you've got an opportunity and you're on Facebook, please share the live stream. We get as many people in here as we can, get some more questions in here. Looks like we've got one more in the channel. Before we go answer those, though, please pop more questions into Facebook Live. Stick around to the very end. Chris has got a special offer and how to get your car appraised. Over on Periscope's, also, I forgot the word for a second there. I was going to say approved, but I knew it wasn't approved.
Appraised.
Periscope's over live. We've got some questions. Looks like Hema's taking notes over there. We've got lots of questions coming in over there. What do you got there, Chris?
I'm just showing
the money. Put it on the camera too. Show me.
These are just our fees. There's no hidden fees with Reverse Dealer. Fully transparent. It's the first time ever in history where you can have a buyer, seller, and dealer in the same room, and everyone's happy. Everyone knows what everyone made and what everyone paid.
Completely transparent.
Fully transparent. There's nothing to hide. So that's why I can openly talk about anything that you guys ask me.
Love it. So, Chris,
sorry.
Show it to Hema. Yeah, show it to them.
We're going to go.
Well, you do that. Yeah. Chris, right now, how many vehicles do you say you have on the lot, would you say?
80.
80 cars about right now. So what's the most exciting vehicle for you that's over on the On the
My
left.
favorite one is a 2014 Toyota Tundra Platinum.
A 2014 Toyota Tundra Platinum.
It's all blacked out.
All blacked
You
out.
can go see it at reversedealer.com.
Reversedealer.com. Check it out over there. Periscope all good over there?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Next question over from Gertie on Facebook.
Are we going to take a break?
You want to take a break?
Yeah, let's take a break.
You wanna
I'm
take a
hot.
break?
I need some
Okay,
water.
we're going to take a break. Then we'll get to your question, Gertie. So, guys, if you have any
guys.
more questions, pop them into the chat, and we'll be back right after this.
Welcome to Same Old Sam's Standard Car Dealership. When it comes to buying and selling cars, Same Old Sam has a great business model. If you're Same Old Sam, that is. See, Sam swindles sellers when he buys their car at a low price. Same goes for clients who trade in their car. He then swiftly sells said car at a much higher price to a buyer, costing the buyer and the seller thousands of dollars in the process. It's lose, win, lose. Maybe it's time we shift gears when it comes to buying and selling cars. Time to put things in reverse. Reverse Dealer, that is. Reverse Dealer is an online auto dealership that gives buyers and sellers all the benefits of a traditional dealer without any of the downfalls. Here's how it works. Sellers bring in their car to get it cleaned and vacuumed. We take professional pictures, evaluate the car on the spot, compare pricing to similar vehicles, and write up a professional ad to be posted on our website, all for free. We also provide non-commissioned professionals to show and sell your car. And if you're not ready to sell your car yet, don't worry, you can still come in to see us. We store your car's info until you're ready to put it on the market. Instead of surfing tons of different websites, buyers can find everything they need at Reverse Dealer, including complete vehicle history, over 20 plus photos of the car, fair market prices, and we offer financing and extended warranty options. Reverse Dealer will even bring the car to the buyer for a test drive. Reverse Dealer doesn't make money by buying low and selling high like Same Old Sam. We simply charge a small one-time fee on each transaction, ensuring that buyers and sellers get a great deal. Unlike the lose-win-lose ways of Same Old Sam, Reverse Dealer offers a win-win-win. And we just think it's better when everyone walks away happy. So let's stop giving away thousands of dollars to Same Old Sam. Let's change the way we buy and sell cars. Let's throw it into reverse. Reverse Dealer. To learn more, visit reversedealer.com.
And we're back with Reverse Dealer
God.
TV after the break. This is our last little segment. We're going to be wrapping up quite quick here. So don't hesitate. Get those questions in right now, and we'll answer them live with Chris right now. Chris,
Yes, sir.
is it true that dealerships can legally mark up my interest rate by several percents? You know, for example, the finance manager sees that I can get approved for about 5%, but the manager then comes back and tells me 7%. That's from Gertie over on Facebook.
This is something called dealer reserve. It is possible. That's what. So
it happens.
So you can go in and say the average rate that you can get from your own bank is say 7%.
Okay.
But dealerships send so many applications into banks that they can lower the rate. So say the dealership can get it for 4%. But then what they'll do is they can sell it to you for 6%. So you get 1% under where you would have got on your own.
Okay.
But the dealer marks it up, say 2%. And
Why?
then the dealer, that's profit.
Oh, so they keep that money.
Yeah, that's profit to the dealer.
Okay.
So it's called dealer reserve, and it happens almost every single
Everywhere.
finance deal. Yeah, absolutely. So that's one thing to be careful of, and that's why it's always good to shop around the rate just to make sure. Don't just always
Know what you
trust.
can get
Yeah,
for a
don't
rate.
always just trust a dealer. They might tell you something, and 9 times out of 10, you can go back and say, that's not a good enough rate. I'm not going to do the deal unless I get a better rate. And you'd be surprised how many times you get a better
Really?
rate.
So-
You don't just negotiate on the car.
Right.
You negotiate. It's all money. It's all based on that gross profit. Everything they do. It's that gross profit model all
Gross
the way
profit all over
through.
the place.
Service department, finance department. That's the whole model is.
So explain this to me then. And I think this is probably usually on new cars only, but how does 0% financing work? Because someone's not making money there if I'm not paying any interest.
So that's a really good question. The big difference. But that 0% is basically on new vehicles, right?
Right.
Like,
I don't think you ever
you don't see it on you
because
because how it works is, and it may not be the same for every single brand out there, but how most of them work. So they'll go through periods. So one period for maybe 2 months, you'll have
that's usually like a
0% or something, and then
a special offer.
Yeah, special offer. And then the next 2 months, it could be 10,000 cash back.
Right.
So
Are those the
big
same thing,
brands,
really?
it's all playing to, so because some people are cash buyers, so 10,000 off. Or in some people like, I'm not going to pay. I want
interest.
0%.
Yeah.
So then they switch to 0%. They still have that same amount of money, and they just move it around, and
So
they'll
you're
buy
basically
down the
saying
rate.
that $10,000 that you would have got is you end up going to be spending it
Yeah.
in the 0%. Like the car is $10,000 more.
Or it's not 10,000.
Whatever the number you said.
The numbers weren't exact. The difference is they buy down the rate.
Right. So you're saying that basically the price of the car is this, and with the percentage that you're paying, the 0%, you're paying this much
more
and
in
if
cash.
You're getting the money back. It ends up being the same offer.
It works out to be, most of the time it's...
I'm doing a terrible job of explaining it, but
basically
it's the
that's
same thing.
That's what it is. Yeah, it's either cash, a big lump sum cash back, or 0%, or a little bit of cash and a little bit lower percent.
So when those dealers are saying that, they're going to help you pay for your roof or help give your kids braces, that's just basically what they're doing, eh?
Well, no, that's even worse.
What is that? Because are they actually giving me money?
Yeah, they're giving you money.
When I buy a car, they're giving me money.
Say you pay $20,000 for a vehicle,
okay,
and then they give you $10,000 cash back.
Your car is $30,000.
That's now, but that $10,000 it's not just $10,000 cash. Here you go. It's
that's $10,000
$30,000 plus they add that interest, and then they make more dealer reserve on that.
So they're not helping you out.
If you need the money desperately and it's going to help you get out,
but you could go to
it's
the
a
bank
loan
too, right?
It's a loan. It's basically it's just a loan. So
okay,
for sure,
good to know. Do we have any more questions over on Periscope that you've caught? We've been trying to watch Periscope, Hema. But is there any more questions?
Who sets residual value on vehicles?
Who what?
Who sets residual?
Those are
So what's the question? Who sets residual
values? I'm assuming.
So can we back up a sec? What's a residual value?
Residual, that's more for new vehicles, and I'd have to clarify the question. So I'm assuming they're talking about leasing, and if it's a Ford vehicle that you're going to be leasing, the manufacturer sets the residual values.
So they set the residual value. So what is the residual value? I think I missed that.
It's okay. So say you take a lease, and then at the end of your lease, there's an amount you have to pay for the vehicle.
Right.
That's the residual. How much it's going to be.
So is
worth.
that just in leasing?
Yeah, residual value. Yeah.
So it has nothing to do with like what they say is like the minute you drive off the lot, your car's
no, that's depreciation. That's
thing.
Totally different.
Okay, good to know. See, I didn't know this. This is all news to me.
You're learning too.
All right,
cool. And I don't know everything. There could be some questions that I get stumped on. So,
but if you do, we'll bring in an expert for the next episode.
And that's the thing. We do have experts that do want to come on the show already. We're just getting the groundwork set. We're just on our third show, and the key is just to ask anything because the auto industry is not very clear. So we want to make sure that is transparent. That's what we're about, is being fully transparent, open, and honest. And that's what we want to do. So you guys know what happens when you go into a dealership, what to watch out for, what you can do to save yourself some money. We're not asking that you guys use us all the time. We're just trying to educate people. So,
Chris, I just saw a question pop up on Periscope here. It said, if you're giving away all the secrets, how are you profitable?
How are we profitable?
How are you making money if you're giving away all the secrets?
We're fully transparent. It's so much hard work.
But if you're giving away the secrets, like
what secrets? So you mean from the
giving away
dealer?
Residual values. You're talking about how the financing works. Like where do you get your money from then? Someone who's new to this.
We're totally different. Our dealership is totally different. Our whole concept. That's why I changed the entire business model when I came out with Reverse Dealer. Because their incentive is that gross profit, make all this money from each little step of the way. But ours is totally different. We make a flat rate once we sell your vehicle. So $1,000 we get paid once we find a buyer for your vehicle. So our incentive is the win-win-win to have the buyer agree with the seller's price, and then we get paid. So we have to have two happy clients before we get paid.
Right.
So our incentive is to have two happy clients.
People who agree on terms, and then you take a small cut.
Yeah.
And that's how you're making money.
And the buyer and seller both know what we take up front. So there's no hidden fees. They're totally happy. Cool. So that's why we can be fully transparent, because we have nothing to hide. And that's how I built the business model. So
we got a little message here. Jen's coming over from Periscope into the Facebook Live. So over for the Periscopers, if you're looking for the Facebook Live show, head over to Reverse Dealer on Facebook. We've got one other question here in Facebook Live. Luke's wondering if you're hiring.
We actually are hiring, Luke. Where are you from? Let me know. Send me a message. Chris Schellenberger. you can send it to my personal Facebook or on Snapchat at Reverse Dealer. We're definitely hiring. We're growing right now. We have 2 people starting on Monday, and we need some more people. We could probably just keep hiring right now. That's how
you're growing
busy
that
we
fast.
are. Yeah,
that's awesome. Chris, I think before we wrap up here, I think we've got a special offer we want to give out. Oh, before we do that, one more thing I wanted to mention. Tomorrow, you're getting interviewed. Last week, we talked about how you're getting interviewed for a magazine.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, you're getting interviewed for a podcast.
Yeah.
What's the show called?
It's called Be Less Typical. It's an automotive podcast, and it's a very positive message. I really recommend you guys going. I've only listened to a couple so far, but there is some really good stuff. Even if you're a salesperson in the auto industry, or if it's actually really, really good stuff, very positive. And they're interviewing me tomorrow. I don't know when the show is going to come out or if it's going to. Maybe they won't like me. I have no idea.
Just reading their website here real quick. The Be Less Typical in Car Sales podcast. It's about car sales and automotive industry training, breaking the perceptions of what it's like to be a car sales professional.
Yeah.
So basically, what you guys are doing with this show and what you're doing with Reverse Dealer, I think it's a perfect little marriage.
It is. They're behind the scenes, as if you're a salesperson who works at the store and working.
So they're giving hints to salespeople who are working even.
They're just a really positive message. From what I've only listened to 2 of them, but they were both really good and valuable information.
So we should probably give a shout out if you want to go check them out. They are at, what was that website? I think it was belesstypical.com, and use your podcast catcher to subscribe to them. Chris will be on an upcoming episode.
Yeah. Stay tuned. We'll let you know when that is if you want to hear it.
Let's check Facebook real quick here for one more question. I don't think we have any new ones. So Chris, let's wrap up.
She might
Does Hema have another one? No
questions.
Let's wrap up here with the free offer that we promised at the end of the show. So a free live market appraisal.
Yeah, a free live market appraisal. So, and it's no strings attached. We're not going to spam you or anything like that. If you want to know what your vehicle is worth right now in today's market, if you want to know what a dealer will give you for a trade-in, if you want to know what a private sale price, if you were to sell it yourself, would be, and if you want to know what a wholesale price or we could pay it cash right now, go to reversedealer.com and click Sell My Vehicle. It's, I think, the 3rd tab in, and then fill out the vehicle appraisal form. Don't worry about the payment part. I will take that away tonight. If it pops up, don't worry. I will still get the information and I will answer that. But you have to do it before 9:00 tonight. I might not get to get you a response tonight.
But if you get it in before 9 p.m.,
if it comes in before 9,
the fee will be waived.
Yeah, no fee. And it's information that can save you thousands. Because if you're going to trade in your vehicle and you have no idea what the thing's worth, what a dealer would give you, what you could sell it for privately, if you have no idea, then this information is really going to help you just at least negotiate a car deal.
At the very least, this is a great first step.
Yeah, even if you're not even in the market, you just want to what's my car worth?
And it doesn't cost you anything, so do it before 9.
Yeah,
do it right now. Well, actually, wait till we're done. And then go do it before 9:00.
Yeah.
And your fee will be waived. That's awesome. So, Chris, let's talk real quick about social media. Right now we're streaming live on Periscope. We're on Facebook Live as well. Periscope. Where else are you on the social media? So last week we talked a lot about Instagram.
Yeah.
Not Instagram. Snapchat.
No, we're on Instagram.
But you're also on Instagram.
We're also on Instagram. I don't run that account. I actually don't know much about Instagram. I wish I knew more about it. Hema's in charge of that.
The wonderful Hema.
And
she's doing some great stuff. She's also the one that's in charge of Twitter. Facebook. She's basically in charge of everything except our Reverse Dealer Snapchat. She's actually over behind the cameras right now. We're going to try and get her on the show later. We're going to see if we can do. She's a little bit shy right now, but Hema's doing all that great stuff. She's behind the scenes doing amazing things. Besides that, also Snapchat.
Yeah, Snapchat. I'm about 2 months into Snapchat. I'm fairly new. Everyone says it's funny. I just do.
It's fun. It's fun.
It's totally different. And on there I do. Oh, I'm also on LinkedIn. I write an article a day.
Yeah, your blog.
I write a blog on LinkedIn every single night. I'm 58 days straight. Tonight will be 59. And then also on Snapchat, I just started reading that blog and putting in pictures on Snapchat too. So so if you want to see the blog or listen, it could be about anything. It has nothing to do with cars, and it could be like my life. There's a story in there about me getting kidnapped in the past at gunpoint.
I saw something about that. Yeah,
but there's all sorts of weird stuff. in there. So, but it's just about my life and just day to day, what it's like to start this business and all that
And that
stuff.
can be found on LinkedIn.
Yeah, my
Look for
LinkedIn.
Chris Schellenberger.
Yeah, LinkedIn. Or just watch me on my Snapchat. Next, I read it every
You'll
night
read
too.
a nice bedtime story.
Yeah.
Guys, if you're watching on Facebook Live, please make sure you follow Reverse Dealer. Click at the very top. This says you want to see this stuff at the top of your posts. And I think there's even an option nowadays for alerts when Facebook Live
When they go live,
happens.
yeah.
So next week, we'll be back.
Yep.
Any ideas of what we'll be talking about next week?
I have no idea.
Get your questions in. Give us an idea of what we'll talk about, and we'll probably talk about it. 6 p.m. Thursday night.
Yep, 6 p.m. Thursday next week. Every Thursday, 6 p.m.
Every Thursday.
We go
Put it in
live.
your calendar.
And if for some reason you can't make it, then we clean up this video, or Kyron does. He knows what he's doing. I have no idea.
Chris does all the hard work.
Yeah,
actually.
I know nothing about that. And then Kyron will put it out on YouTube as well, and it's probably a lot smoother than the stream right now.
Well, the after one seems to be funny. We're working on that. Though.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out how to make that better. But yeah, we'll put a clean version up on Facebook and YouTube for you to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And then soon to come, podcast audio you'll be able to subscribe to.
This
and
is our
get.
third one.
Third one. So we've got, I think, next week we'll be posting to
Yep.
Facebook. We'll have an announcement during the Reverse Dealer TV
Mm-hmm.
for next week.
Sounds good.
I think that's it.
Perfect. Thank you
Did we
for
forget
watching.
anything, guys? Thank you guys so much for watching.
Okay. Thank you guys. See you next week.